Hello and welcome to another Sonic Boom TV review podcast. This time we'll take a look at the episodes 19 through to 26. Would have done more on this podcast, would have been a bit later, but guess what? It's on hiatus again until September. That's just typical.
Yes.
Mind you, it's now be in the UK airwaves in a month or so.
Yes, is that 1st of June?
Yeah. Wow, so next week.
Yeah, pretty much. It is official. I mean, when I heard about this, I wanted to make sure this wasn't some rube or anything. So it is official. It's on Boomerang. Saw the ad on the channel, so it's happening.
Yeah, a few other elements from Sonic Boom came out. Like there's an Unseen 64 video that talks about what happened. Basically, this is saying all the first trailers we saw were lying to us. They were on Wii U hardware. They were on PC hardware.
And then Sega decide to, remember that first trailer? Yeah, not allowed to watch anymore.
Yeah, it's been posted everywhere else.
Yeah.
You can't hide it from the internet. People will find it.
I know. Although, to be fair, the time they did that was just probably right after this video just came out, let's be honest.
Yeah, about 2 days.
Yeah, so it was a case of, oh shit.
Anyway. Episode 19, Soul Power.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to do the translation again.
Yeah, you're going to translations again.
Yeah, I'm going to do... This one was called, and this is what it's translated in English, called Souls of Hell.
Yep, I got the...
You can't have sacrilegious, you can't have any religious imagery or words in the title.
Whatever, I just think it's fun.
That's why a lot of games are... like, in the US there's a game called Rhythm Heaven, but yet in Europe it's called Rhythm Paradise.
Well, it's like with Ratchet and Clank, actually. Like, for some reason...
We can't have up your arsenal.
Yeah, for some reason, which... We love that. I mean, England loves puns. But anyway.
Yeah. There was a lot more worse puns that I couldn't do anything about.
Yeah.
Okay, can I voice my first issue with this episode?
Go on.
Go on.
So he's got the sound emanating from his shoes now that sounds like it's
like a tuning fork.
It's like something. It's like a gong that won't stop ringing. When
did he get it?
Start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain. Apparently, everyone said he did it to do it to Sonic. It's like, when and how?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I can hear people say he put it on him when he was sleeping because Eggman knows where he lives.
Well, they both know where each other lives, so they could have...
It's hard not to know where Eggman lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a volcanic layer.
It's kind of like this is where you start to see the sitcom tropes again, where you're X amount of episodes in, and they start establishing new physical traits about the characters just to make something funny, even though it clearly wasn't present before. Otherwise, somebody would have noticed by now. Example being to use a show that I used to frequent, Friends. There was a good 6 or 7 seasons into that, maybe, when they decided to start finally establishing things about the characters that were just the joke for the episode, but they're kind of the stuff that you would say to yourself, why didn't they notice this before? Example being, Chandler suddenly announces that he can't smile for the camera without making a funny face that doesn't look like an actual smile. Or Joey can't dance because he wears size 7 shoes.
That doesn't make sense either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody noticed that his feet were tiny until 8 seasons in, really? So
I see. I know what you mean. It's just like you can't just write stuff in when you should have introduced this like season 2.
Yeah, I mean I let it pass, but this one we're still in the first season here with Sonic Boom, and the problem with the shoes is, yeah, it rings. Why does it ring?
It's never rang before, but I guess Eggman did say he did it.
really, at the end of the day, it's just he did some. Well, he thought like, how am I going to get a Sonic? Well, he uses speed. How can I make that a problem to everybody else?
Yeah, and Sonic trying not to run everywhere. He has to walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing he doesn't want to do.
There is a
being the
gag where they
slowest.
have him like doing this long, treacherous, Indiana Jones type long distance on the map, and it realizes he's just walked a few feet and he just hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, there are people who can't be asked to get off the couch to grab the remote.
Yeah, but then again, it is kind of a good idea to do with Sonic, because again, it is the case of if he couldn't run, what would he do? I mean, it would probably drive him nuts not being able to do what he normally does.
And I've said this before in like the previous episode I mentioned Tomato Sauce, is that I think the writer's been looking at Sonic fan fiction because I do recognise some tropes, fan fiction tropes, like Sonic not being able to run because of a ailment or technology. I don't know why. I just keep getting that idea in my head that I've been reading the fan fictions.
I don't know. It's kind of like with if you were right for Superman, and then it's kind of like, well, how do I put Superman in a new scenario? It's like you could do anything. It's like, what do I do now? It's like, oh, I could use kryptonite. I was like, no, I don't want to use green one. Like, oh, I could use red one. That could make him go crazy, and blah 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 blah. So it's one of those type of things, I think.
Throw him into the red sun, but not a blue sun, because a blue sun will actually make him superpowered.
Okay.
No, that's actually true.
All right. No, I'm just saying, I'm surprised you knew that.
I didn't know anything about that. Kudos.
That's the reason why he gets his powers, the yellow sun.
Oh, well, that I know.
Throw him into a red giant, he dies. A blue giant, he gets double the power. It's weird. There's a lot of Superman is like, I didn't know you could do that. No, because they only did it once, never again.
I bet you will do that in Superman v Batman: Dawn of Justice. I bet you they would do that.
Actually, it's Batman v Superman. I don't care. I'm rooting for Superman because I don't believe a rich man can kill a alien god.
Well, it is.
Sorry, no. As Boomerbat put him, alien Jesus.
Jesus.
And I'm going to be putting that one as a rental because Ben Affleck doesn't like me. But
Getting back to the episode at hand.
Yeah, whatever.
To help remedy this, Eggman tells Rose for some tests with a simple joke, but it made me laugh. Where he does the reflex and knock on the knee, and it's not until like a few scenes later where he finally reacts and kicks Tails away. It's a very stupid joke, but it still made me laugh. Eventually, he goes to Eggman, and Eggman gives him the moon pair of shoes, which actually allows him not to make a sound. But unfortunately, it's powering his new Obliterator bot.
Yeah.
And it's got a different name, but it's the Obliterator bot.
Yeah. Yeah, again, they do reuse some of the same... Well, let's be fair, he keeps using the same factors.
No, not the Obliterator bot. It doesn't have a name, this one. I think this is the first time it's been called because it's the tank tracks on it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Obliterator.
Alright, well...
oh, because it obliterates. Boom. Got you there. So, this episode, kind of I guess a B for me.
Or it graded him this time.
Or because before we did the
5 stars, yeah.
5 stars. 3.5 out of 5.
I'd say a 3. It's like a middle of the road episode. It has some funny moments, but it's like I said before, it's a trope you'd recognise.
I mean, for me, it's, like I said, the premise of the whole episode is Sonic has this problem, Eggman supposedly helps him, but it's really for his own game, and of course it's how long until he uses the thing against Sonic to use that against Eggman, and, it's okay. I mean, the one thing I will say, there's 2 things. One, I'm surprised, because the gag is he can't get the shoes off, they're never meant to come off, which, in the end, when he does defeat the robot, he just decides to run off. And you're like, wait, is he still going to wear those shoes? Which we know he's not really going to do it for the entire season, but it's like, how does he get those things off? Just one of those silly things. And the other bit I like is...
He wears them down. Or they burn off.
Probably. But my favourite bit, I will say my favourite bit of the whole episode is actually at the end where he goes, don't you find it weird when he sells himself in the third person? Yes. The entire crew says that.
Yeah, twice. And that's a little
they do
joke
it
in
twice,
the
and I did
episode.
like the end one. It was just...
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'd say a 3 at least. It's a middle of a road episode.
Episode 20, Hedgehog Day.
Right, but this one's called The Never Ending Day, which is probably a bigger clue to what it's actually.
Yeah, mind you, Sarah said this when she watched it with me. She said this: "How great of them to include a reference to kids that they'll never ever get." If they know going to get it, it's Groundhog Day starring Billy Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I was actually watching that just last night, actually.
I've noticed something. I can't. I can't note any specific scenarios, but isn't Groundhog Day becoming its own cliche here? This is just another, it's another ring trope, and particularly cartoons where they like
Yeah, it
doing
is.
stuff over and over again. Or
Yeah,
Freaky
I
Friday.
think a Groundhog Day trope,
Mhm.
essentially what it is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've seen loads of cartoons that do the whole thing of a character having to suffer the same event or same moment over and over again.
Mhm.
Basically, the start of the plot, they want to watch a movie starring comedy chimp. It's like the Adam Sandler of the Hedgehog world.
That's the best way to describe him. He's the Adam Sandler. He just won't fuck off.
I won't say he's that bad. He had a few good films I enjoyed, but
Well,
yeah.
He has pixels coming out. Let's
Let's
hope for
see
the
how
best.
that fares out.
Give them a bit
At least it's not from his studio. Is it Paramount or
Sony, I think.
Sony Pictures? Yeah.
So yeah, Hedgehog Day.
So Eggman attacks to do everything. Apparently, Eggman fires a laser. Amy hits it back. He fires a different laser, and he strikes at the exact moment, causing a temporal anomaly that allows him to repeat the same day over and over and trying to defeat Sonic.
The one thing I do like about this episode is, in some shows, because the Groundhog Day thing is, of course, Murray doesn't necessarily know why it's happening, and of course the joke is you see him go through worried about it, trying to fix it, then just accepting he can do everything he wants, but then getting depressed and all that stuff. Then, like I said, it is a trope in itself, but it's great to see how Eggman does it, because it very quickly goes from what the hell's going on to, oh, I can use this to my advantage, it's not going to work.
To let it end already.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the one difference between the two different versions of the story, using Groundhog Day as an original reference point. In there, it's kind of, in the Bill Murray film, I understand it's kind of ambiguous as to why he's repeating the same day over and over again.
It's never revealed what happens. It just happens to him because I guess he's being a bit of a jerk or something.
It's kind of implied, though, that he's doomed to repeat the same day over and over until he does things correctly.
Yeah, until he redeems the town. Basically, once he gets everything better.
And here in Sonic Boom, we have the only way to figure out how to make things right again is to
get the gang to help, basically.
Yeah.
Whilst every time it resets, he has to tell them over and over again and make sure the plan doesn't mix up. Depending on
it's not
every single time, all about wiki, eggs and bakey.
Yeah. There's a lot of Eggman abusing his robotic partner again in this episode, or particularly getting pissed off at him.
It's Eggman trying to get out of this.
His robotic partners. That says a lot now.
Don't think too hard into that, folks.
Okay.
There's actually a few good jokes here and there. I think because they have the Groundhog Day revelation is just excuse me, is kind of gets on your nerves to a point. Like, you want to see what happens up to this point until he goes back. But it's just, but Eggman getting frustrated every single time it happens is getting more funny. First time telling tales about this and helping restart. Knuckles pulling his back. Knuckles dropping the machine. Knuckles not wanting to do it because he had a dentist appointment.
And then finding a way. It's basically it all depends on trying to get Knuckles involved in this, and of course Knuckles has his own problem in his own stupid way.
Even so, like, I don't think it's actually that memorable episode. I'm trying to remember certain points.
Yeah, I don't remember too much
And
either.
I just know the fun parts, but nothing anything else, and it never gets revealed. All of a sudden, oh, it's back to normal. Eggs and sausage.
Yeah, we're out of bacon.
Yeah, they got tired of the bakey.
Yeah.
After a while.
That's the one thing, is like trying to reverse the temporal anomaly. That is, I could say some Doctor Who shit right now, but I'm not gonna. And it never actually shows. Is all of a sudden eggs and sausage.
Well, we don't see how they eventually do fix it. It's just it just fixes itself because the time loop's broken.
Oh, that's one thing as well that I actually enjoyed. It was Eggman's not just giving up and everything, trying to work it out. He just cuts his own mustache.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's a desperate man.
Yeah, that's basically Bill Murray trying to kill himself, see if he can find a way out of this moment.
Yeah.
Yes, to me, it's a 2. It's a kind of unique concept to try and bring to kids again, or trying to say
It's
is a time
definitely
travel
an Eggman-centered episode, isn't it? I mean, how many
Yeah.
have had where it's more about him than the gang from this so far show?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 where Eggman's in the entirety of it.
Hmm.
But as far as focus, I can only think of like Fortress of Squalitude and Eggheads.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eggman Unplugged recently happened. That's another one, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 on my end.
I would just say it's a 3, really. Just it's an okay episode. It's decent.
Okay.
Episode 22, The Curse of the Buddy Buddy Temple.
Is that the next
You
episode?
skipped over the sleeping giant.
Sorry.
Which is called...
Episode 21, Sleeping Giant.
Yeah, which is called The Lullaby.
Not that far off.
Yeah.
And in this episode, they accidentally wake a giant. And so apparently, it's not destroying anything like you expect it would.
It just wants to find a way of getting asleep again.
Yeah.
But because
That
it's giant,
that is pretty unique. Because usually, when it comes down to like dormant beasts, they're always like, "Who the fuck woke me up? That's it. I'm killing all the virgins."
Always the virgins, isn't it?
Well, depends on the genre, really.
Yeah.
Horror, mostly comedy though.
Yeah. Like I said, it's basically, giant thing does something that's remarkably simple, but because it's huge, it screws everything up around the island.
The best joke in it was trying to sing a lullaby. Amy tries. Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Apparently sticks with her bad singing. Apparently works.
Yeah, there's a lot of fan out of that already. It's like there's one of them showing like a future version. So an artist called Yvonne DeviantArt. They made a character called Cece, and she said, "I heard screams of peril coming from the bathroom. I was singing."
Boy.
There's a few things about this episode. Sorry.
You gotta love how the French title though gives away the
actual plot.
Yeah, I mean, some of the French
result.
translations are kind of more revealing, more plot spoilery, but...
Not like Doctor Who, where it says, "In the name of the Doctor." We don't want to know the name. In the name of the Doctor.
Well, it's we've had Let's Kill Hitler, and what? They decided
Didn't
to
kill
put that
him.
away, and it's all to do with River Song instead.
Hitler in the cupboard.
Yeah, Hitler's left in the cupboard for the entire story. Never brought back again.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah, that's the gag.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Moffat's way of concealing the true secret of the episode, but that's another story.
Because one character says it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sleeping Giant.
There's a couple of things about this episode. I mean, the big things for me is, one, Amy mentions the Ancients again. So is this the first time in the show they've mentioned that?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember. I think it's this episode or it was a previous one where they also brought back the Enerbeam.
Yeah, they have brought back the Emma Bean a few times, in this episode.
Only twice.
Yeah,
only twice.
So far.
I can't remember what the other one was, but the first one was in the sidekick. That's it. And also that plane, you never seen again. It's now the yellow tornado.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a tornado. I'm not going to know what the fuck it's called.
Whatever. But anyway,
it's a tornado.
Yeah, it's one tiny little link, I would say, to anything to do with Rise of Lyric or Shadow Crystal.
Mainly Rise of Lyric.
Yeah, but then again, everybody's attitude is that hatred, anger, or whatever, but that's just one thing. The other thing is, it starts, I'm trying to remember, does it start with Sonic doing like this weird spot where he's running, it's actually having Knuckles and Amy in the kind of like a parasailing thing? Like you doing
just Knuckles. Later in the episode, it's Amy as well. I had to open my mouth, didn't I?
I guess so. Now that you mention it, I finally remember that part.
This is something I thought was funny, because you do see them kind of doing their thing sometimes in these episodes. Like, it's either doing their ridiculous games where they're chucking themselves at a coconut tree, or this, or something else.
It's always like wasting time.
Yeah, there's just them just doing what they do on the island, just for shits and giggles.
Just went on a news broadcast where it actually says, local teen head smashed in by trying to run into an acorn tree.
Oh boy.
Say what?
Yeah. And there's also, well, the main gag, of course, is like, Eggman, what's he doing? He has a garden. He's near his lair.
Okay, now I've got Adam West in my head. My petunias! You dick.
What? Petunia?
Family Guy.
Oh.
Yeah, but Adam West says himself in the show.
Well, Adam West has a career of being Adam West.
Yes.
You say.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed this episode. Styx is like a central part of the plot this time, rather than like a side character who just happens to be there.
Yeah. And again, it's everybody's doing their thing. Sonic's trying to help out Amy and all the gang and stuff. So it's kind of a whole, all the gang trying to solve a problem type episode.
Yeah, this... I guess the only thing irritating about this episode is Styx singing the lullaby itself.
Well, it's meant to sound awful. That's the joke.
I guess sometimes
it gets annoying after a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But it's just like you then laugh at the end when Amy said, "Oh, just like you have to let this play for another 2 years."
Yeah.
No, what? Yeah.
I think it was 2 years. Or
Actually,
something.
Another thing I remember, then on the Facebook page, somebody did like the figurines of one guy saying, "We can't just stand here and not having Eggman." You're right. And Knuckles decides to sit down. And somebody did that gag using the figures from the toy line as a little joke.
Knuckles, you dumbass.
Yeah, that's another thing I remember about this episode.
And everyone brings back that one line from Aimlo. Don't you think? I try not to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's never been there. Try not to. That just sums up this stuff, really. Do you think? Try not to.
For me, it's just like 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. I mean, it'd be interesting if they... Sorry.
I'll go with that.
I would say it'd be interesting if they do more episodes where it's more about them discovering weird treasures or lost things on the island more. If they start to do that maybe later in the show.
Or find Shadow again.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Boom, Shadow. Boom, Shadow.
Shadow, boom, Shadow.
Thanks, Mike.
He's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Okay, now episode 22, The Curse of the Buddy Buddy Temple.
Yeah, but this is called The Curse of the Poopota's Temples. I think it's that?
Poo Temple, what?
Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same, except it's called Poopota's Temple.
Poop. Huh.
Maybe that's French slang for buddy.
Yeah.
And
I could get it wrong, to be fair. I could get it wrong, so if anybody's out there, correct me and shout at anger.
I'll put up on the screen.
Oh.
Translate this. Is it what we think it is? If it is, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
You earn an internet cookie.
Yes.
Click it.
To infect your computer.
Okay, according to Google Translate, no translation from French. So.
Alright, well, whatever. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but let's get on.
Okay, this is very typical standard run-of-the-mill Eggman v Sonic. Then they go into a temple and they have to work together to get out.
This is like a 2-player episode, you know?
There's kind of an A and a B plot going on with this one, at least.
Well, more like A and A2.
That's what I mean, in terms of the main one is, of course, Eggman and Sonic get stuck in this temple, and the only way out is to work together, and of course, hilarity.
They don't want to.
Yeah, which is the joke, because they'll do their own way of getting out. And on the other side, we have Sonic and Sonic's friends and Orbot and Cubot trying to figure out how they're going to get them out from their end. And there is a good bit where Orbot and Cubot realize we're never going to see him again. Hooray, we're free at last!
Then they come back saying, we have no guidance without Eggman.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to live on a boat. I'm going to write another one on the boat.
Most of the time, Amy knows Sticks and Tails
basically
arguing what they should do, and it's always Amy and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Which is not as bad as arguments the comics put it as, which was a really stupid writing style. It's Knuckles be working for Eggman just because he wanted to prove he's not stupid.
Yeah, whatever. But there's a whole gag where it says, "Can I be the judge?" No!
No! That has been like a common thing now. Tails, doesn't get to do much. It's like he wants to be the mediator, but no one's letting him.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yes. That's pretty much the episode. It actually is a half-decent episode for me.
Yeah.
The good moments was with Sonic and Eggman. But even that, you can pretty much skip it over.
Well, I think with this, it was what I was going to say before was that it seems to me like this was almost like something that would have been made for a game level, for a 2-player game.
All I can think about is the extra boss in Sonic Advance 3. You actually team up with Eggman.
Oh, so you have to.
Actually, when I was watching this episode,
one player takes 2-player, one player takes 1 player, and 1 player takes 2-player, and they have to work together.
I did think to myself, as watching it, that this is actually kind of this could be a good idea for an actual level in one of the main Sonic games. Actually, have a level where Eggman and Sonic have to find a way of helping each other out during an episode. Well,
all I can think about now is those puzzles we have to hit the switches in Sonic Heroes. Anyone? Sonic Heroes, free characters.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. It's just when Sonic, Sonic Heroes, the puzzles, you have to use Switch. Hello?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that era of the games. I'm not completely off guard. Hell, I was just playing the Sonic Generations demo the other day. I still have that waiting around on my Xbox 360, but guess what? I had to make room for something else.
You can get the game, it's cheap now.
Pretty cheap. I mean, it's practically on everything. You get it through Steam or whatever.
I got my copy of the Steam copy for free.
Oh yeah, there was a period, yeah.
Yeah.
I would, but I couldn't keep up with the demo.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was really leaning towards a yes, but there might be another game now that you have to understand though. My TV screen is huge, so going really, really fast is kind of like, I feel like I'm getting too old for this.
Oh, believe me, Sonic Unleashed is much, much faster. With the Hedgehog engine, it will stay at a constant 60 frames per second. Yeah. Until you get to add a bar with Jungle Joyride and the frame rate will fucking drop like an anchor.
Yeah, well, I don't think, we haven't got to well, let's be fair, we haven't got any of those games yet in 60 frames per second yet with that boost gaming equivalent, unless you do a mod hack that someone's done.
I like that downgrade in frame rate. It makes it kind of look cinematic.
Yeah,
fuck that. Ubisoft tried doing that with Assassin's Creed Unity. So 60 frames is better for the computer, it makes it more cinematic. If I want it cinematic, I'll go to the frickin' movies. I'm playing a game.
Ooh. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, sorry, Ubisoft with their marketing right now, trying to tell the consumers what they like is pretty bullshit.
Yeah, but yeah.
But not as bad as Konami though. That's an entirely different fish.
Yeah, a lot of things that happen in the gaming industry is that's pissing people off, but surprisingly enough, Sonic's not one of them in a minute.
No, just Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Back to episode
Don't jinx
22.
it though.
Back to that's episode 22. Cause about it.
It is still very good. I mean, there's a good bit where Eggman has to say, "Can you pull my hoverboard? Can you build my Eggmobile? You tell no one about this."
Yeah, it's just at the end as they try. They're really
They
friendly.
finally get out, and it's like,
they're-
"I'm going to destroy you." So, how does next week sound for you? Next week's is good. Right?
No,
destroy that.
that's the next one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? I'm pretty sure.
That's episode 23.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, we'll spoil that for everyone.
All right, well, let's talk about that episode now. But first, our ratings.
Everybody 2.5.
3.
4 for the creativity, like I said, possible game level.
Now episode 23. Let's play Musical Friends. A complete lie of what the fucking episode is.
Yeah. Funny enough, the French version is called Nomentis. I think that's how it's said.
Nominatus.
Nominatus. Yeah, I think that's how it's said. I think is that the name of the actual villain in this episode? Because that's the big thing about this one.
I'm not too sure.
Anyway,
Can't
let's
remember
just
now.
head on.
Basically, Musical Friends is not Musical Friends. There is no singing or dancing.
It's not like Doctor Who. It has a double meaning or anything. It's just a
There's
silly
no
name.
There's no party streamers or balloons.
Yeah, it's just a silly name.
Basically, Emma's got a new friend on Skype.
Yeah, although criminal Skype.
Let's just say Skype. Everyone knows Skype. Is it Skype? I don't know, but I will use it.
Yeah.
And this guy is taking up all Eggman's time. Everything. Albert and Cubot are just jealous, surprisingly. But it turns out this is a evil AI who wants to take over Eggman's technology.
I can see why at that point they would think, okay, musical friends, but because the concept of a friend sort of rotates around there. But yeah,
It could have been simply called "Let's Be Friends."
Mm.
It'll make it just a bit more sense in that regard. This is like this is the only episode right now with no correlation or
Why
relation
it's called
to
what
why
it is.
it's called.
Mm.
The only one that actually play does come into later where they have to Albert and Cuba go inside a computer game, which is 17.5-bit.
Yeah, well, actually, no, it's we're in 16-bit, 17-bit.
I like that touch. Was this also the episode where Tails hands?
Yeah, Tails mentioned
bought
his
the-
game where you run around rings and all that stuff. That sounds terrible.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Which,
it's a
That was a cute
a
joke, I
a
thought.
fourth wall gag. Yeah.
yeah, it's a cute show. I mean, like I said in the last podcast, this is the episode where, again, I had a feeling that there would be, later down the line, they would have one where it's about Orbot and Cubot feeling they don't appreciate it and decide to essentially leave Eggman and try to deal with the gang, really. Go to the Sonic's gang and see what they can do. I mean, that's really what most of this episode's about, is it's an Orbot and Cubot eccentric episode. And like before, I think this one's better because there's a lot more interesting things going on. And again, there are a lot more funny things for them to do.
And that joke at the end, which you mentioned, was, "I'll destroy you next Tuesday."
Mm-hmm.
Or something. Eggman and Sonic has his own notebook, which is the shape of his head.
Yeah, which is the same one you used when Eggman was in his body, so it's the same one.
And the jokes continue; they'd never end.
Yeah. Oh, recycling all items, that's the best way to do an animation.
Indeed.
Yeah, but it is funny that we got essentially this episode featured another new villain, unlike the other ones where they're kind of just people on the island. This one is.
Did you? I will say, does the enemy in this one actually look like one of the Zeddy or Zeddy?
Just like he could be like a reject design from the Yev and the Zeddy from Sonic Lost World.
Yeah,
Oh,
You know the Deadly Six? The green, red, orange, blue, purple.
me?
Yes.
Deadly Six.
Is it?
The Deadly Six, yeah.
Looking up real quick. Oh, Lost World. I haven't played it, but I have played Sonic Dash, so I'm familiar with the purple guy with the horns.
Yeah, essentially
Zaz,
as I
yeah.
said, he kind of looks like he could fit in with that crowd.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a more slim version of Zorok, which is the big red one.
Yeah, but to be fair, when I look at the Deadly Six, I always feel like they. Funny enough, when you have the Knights level, which is a boss rush level, they feel like they fit more in the Knights game than the Sonic game, if I'm honest. But that's
Making Knights free already.
yeah, but that's my idea.
Is it more appropriate? Knights 3D.
Knights Wii U or something. I don't know, just whatever.
And I don't want to tilt the Wii U pad back and forth just to fly.
Yeah, whatever. But we'll probably talk about that another time. Like ideas that Sega should do, but whatever.
Yeah, no wonder I don't have Lost World yet.
It's only on the Wii U and 3DS. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really worth playing.
Is it? Well, it's
Not to me. It has its good ideas, but it's not desperately worth playing.
it's one of the Sonic games that tries experimenting in, but isn't a big flat failure or anything like that.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it. Anyway,
Back to Musical Friends. I actually quite enjoyed this one because the in-jokes, some of the humour, having a new character, which wasn't someone you see every single episode like that monkey or the walrus. Like
Yeah, he's not a background character. This is someone they purposely made for this show, and could come back. I mean, you never know. They could bring this guy back later down the line.
Oh, and how they defeat him? It was their own version of rock paper scissors. Yeah.
Yeah, by just confusing the shit out of him with that.
You could just put Johnny Bravo in and he'll be equally entertained.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. How do you use a super intelligent machine? Just do something incredibly stupid and it'll just lose its mind.
There you go.
Like making a cartoon laugh.
Do you have a cartoon laugh? I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, me too. To me, I get it as a 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4. This is definitely, I think, again, Orbon Cuba episodes was good. This is it's better than the last one, and it shows.
Now, there'll be not much from me on episode 24 called Late Fees. I only got like halfway through the episode and I just could not watch it anymore.
God.
I couldn't watch this episode. I really couldn't. I tried. It's like I was just getting annoyed.
Well, there's one certain character that Dan doesn't like appears in this episode, so I wouldn't blame you for that.
Yeah, that's Devious Beaver.
Well, no, the other...
I don't... Dave?
No, not Dave, no, the other one, but from the episode you really fucking hated because of the people.
Oh, Trippin', yeah.
Yeah, he's the chief of that tribe's in this episode, for a quick bit.
Yes. I'm going to I guess I'll just have to let my children starve, or something like that, he says.
They could always chew my leg off.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the later episode.
Well, anyway, it's called Late Penalties in French, and should I sum up the episode since you did?
Same thing. I know the first part. Generally, Sonic's borrowed a book from Amy, and apparently he has to take it back to the library, otherwise there'll be late fees. Mm-hmm. That's the gist of it.
It's basically Sonic's trials and tribulation to get back to the library.
You're forgetting it has my favorite. It has my favorite phonetic pronunciation of any French title episode.
Oh yeah,
So,
retard.
Penalites the retard.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there is one good bit. There's a whole bit where Sonic says, "Why didn't you take it back in time?" And it has this weird cut of showing you what Sonic's been doing most of the time, like defeating Eggman, sort of exploding, him and Amy on top of his base.
That was funny, taking a selfie just before Eggman's base explodes.
They jump off and the thing blows up, and then you cut back to the book, and you think it's going to blow up. Nothing happens, then he goes back, gets it, and then the chair blows up after he's gone.
Yeah, didn't they do that in Mortal Kombat X? Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know.
It's a what was that called? A self-fatality or something?
It was a fatality. One of the characters whacks someone's jaw off, so it's hanging there, then takes a selfie with him and posts it onto the onto a Facebook called Friendlies.
Oh
And you see all like usernames and posting stuff.
God. Yeah. But no, I mean, like I said, this episode's really just, again, it's Sonic's ability to, you can get there as quick as possible, but something keeps popping in his way over and over again, like an old person saying, "I remind you the time I first bought a burger."
No, we just met.
Yeah, no, it's me. No. I don't like burgers.
You know, he could have just stepped around that guy and kept running.
Yeah, well, Sonic's partly polite, I guess, that's his excuse. Then he runs
It's
into...
like-
Yeah, I got as far as Sonic offering this chili dog.
Yeah, because of the bit where he goes for a chili dog,
I
and he said,
just stopped after that. It's like it's just I know it's only 11 minutes long, but it just feels like it's just dragging to get jokes. So eventually, I just stopped watching.
Though it is funny, this episode is Sonic has to do something for Amy, otherwise she's going to get screwed.
Insert your own fan service here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the amount of Sonic Amy stuff that's been on this.
Yeah.
The unstoppable amount.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, it's just a funny little thing of, well, Sonic has to do something for the other gang members in his crew. So, and I will say how he, because essentially the episode end was supposed to be this big fight out in the end, and just with a few minutes to spare, and, you know, could he get the book in? No, he's got the door closed because he wants to finish off his burger, or chili dog, or whatever it was, and it's because of Eggman's last furious attempt to try and shoot Sonic. He blows a hole in the library, and Sonic just gives it back. Right there and then. Here you go. See? Once you get back in time.
Yep.
Yeah. Which I did like. I thought that was a funny way to end the episode. Again, the one where you have Sonic kind of going through kind of a low, but then ending on a high.
I'll watch it again just to watch the rest of the episode. But like I said, I didn't actually finish it because I got annoyed by it.
Like I said, the ending is worth it for me. It's definitely
Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
no rating from me.
The only thing I have to say that I noticed about this one that I'm surprised isn't considered something chronological here. The episode is 11 minutes long, but Sonic has 7 minutes to return the library book, and he returns it in time.
Well,
I don't think the wraparound segments to more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's basically, if you go by real time, literally, then that's a different story.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
It could be Dragon Ball Z.
Oh god, though, how many times have they padded out episodes?
Okay, yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
6 episodes later,
Yeah. Then we get to the whole beating the shit out.
you got 1 minute left.
Yeah. And then we end everything.
And you still got about 5 minutes before it explodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. So 3 out of 5 for me.
Let's give it a 3. Funny enough, the Beaver, for some reason we finally get to know what his job is apparently he's in charge of the library in this world.
A lot of people have different jobs, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we made a character what we're going to do with them, so might as well give them something to do.
At least Dave has been in the same one since we saw him.
He's droopy in a beaver costume.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Voiced by Roger Craig Smith.
Isn't he a voice Mike
That'll
Pollock?
be 25 cents, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's Mike Pollock.
Yeah, I was going to say the Beaver's done by Mike Pollock.
Yeah, Dave is done by Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah. Who, funny enough, actually, the weird thing about him is, the last thing, is that voice he uses is actually the same voice he uses for Mr. Small in The Amazing World of Gumball.
Hmm.
So there's a funny little kind of, ooh, this reminds me of somebody else, but you guys have the fun of figuring that out.
Episode 25, Into the Wilderness.
Yeah, which was called In the Wild. Simple version.
Yeah, I prefer the French version of this one.
All right.
Sonic, Amy had to go hiking and go for some berries, but Sonic and Knuckles just chuckle at the idea that she can't survive in the wilderness. So there's a contest between him and Knuckles and her against her and Sticks. Who can actually get to the finish line while hiking?
It's basically, you know, boys versus girls, sort of the sexist type story where it's basically, oh, the women, we can do it better than you, or no, you can't, and just see trials and tribulations and stuff. The big thing about
you can do, I can do it better.
Yeah, exactly. The big thing about this episode is, like I said before, this is the one where you finally get to see Sticks really you actually get to see what she does with this gang. What her talents are, because before she's just been the feral person who talks crazy stuff and is kind of uses a boomerang. That's about it.
Another thing is, as well, is like in this episode, I'm not too sure whether or not people would like it or dislike it, but Sonic was just really stupid in this episode.
But he's hanging out with Knuckles. Let's be fair.
I know Knuckles is supposed to be on, but Sonic is like, oh look, it's a stick in the ground. What do I do? Oh, let's play ball.
Well, like I said, I mean, somehow he plays really odd games with Knuckles and whatever. So I've sort of gotten used to that.
Yeah, Knuckles is getting a bit more stupid by the episode. Sonic in this one is like the dumbest bit in the entirety of the series.
Yeah. Actually, my favourite gag is she mentions about the berries that have an explosive tendency, which of course she's right again. And there's actually a bit where jumps into Sonic's arm saying, "I thought you love nature. I do, but it doesn't mean I know how to survive in it."
Him trying to crack a walnut.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
Actually. But like I said, I really like the fact that we finally get to see Styx, really showing off what she can do. It's more or less a centered episode about her and Amy. I mean, there's a whole bit where she's showing her survival skills, and Amy's version of just making it look cute.
It catches fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a lovely 10. She just burns it down and all that stuff. So like I said, I do like the fact that it's finally an episode centered on Styx. And again, we finally get to see what she can do, what she attributes to the team. And again, she's fun, and she actually makes sense in this episode. She's actually kind of more level-headed than she's been in some of the other ones.
At the end, it's like talking about the missile silo and
Yeah, the whole bit where they...
how do you know it's a missile silo? The missile.
Yeah.
I don't know why the way she says that was just kind of cute.
Yeah. It's, again, the whole bit where they fall into a missile silo of Eggman's planted in the forest somewhere. And of course, their way of getting out of it, which is, again, just shows off Styx's abilities. And far, I mean, one thing we should mention also, this does not appear, but he appears for one tiny bit. But
only 5 seconds.
He says it's the funniest thing of the whole episode, if I'm honest.
It's like the random missile to the end of Sonic and Tails, not Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
I said, "Where's the missile go? How did it return to sender?"
Yeah.
I know that sound.
Uh-oh.
Oh. There's a 5-second clip of it, and that's all you need.
Yeah, this proves, again, when you use him, it's funny when we have episodes where there's a lot of man of Eggman, it depends what you do with him, and even if you have a little bit of him, he's always fun to watch.
Like in the only good parts of Guilt Tripping.
Yeah, like I said, his constant
His voicemail, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think, James? You haven't really said anything. Sorry about
Well, about this episode, I kind of forgot most of it until you guys said something.
Really?
I'm just as surprised as you are. I don't know. Because I wake up every Saturday morning to watch these and then fall right back to sleep, and then sleep until noon. So
I can send you a playlist of them. So you can binge them, or have you got them recorded already?
I have I can watch them on dubbed anime.
All right.
Okay.
I got my connections.
Yeah. But hey, you're supporting the show the real way by actually getting up in time to watch it.
Yes, thank you very much. How are you guys doing on that end?
I don't wake up when I'm on. I have the ability to, and a DVR, yeah, but I just don't. I always just wait until someone's uploaded it, then watch it then before it gets taken down.
I mean, for me, when it comes in the UK, I think they've said, I could be wrong, but I think it's meant to come on at 4. I think it comes at 4 in the afternoon, then repeats again at 6.
That sounds good.
So again, I have plenty of chance to see either the first showing or second showing of it. So either way, I'm going to watch it regardless.
Okay.
For me, for this episode, I'll give it about 3. I can give or take on this episode. It has some good moments, but it has some moments that annoyed me.
All right, then I give it a 3.5. Like I said, I can see why you don't like, because it's Sonic and Knuckles do acting a bit stupid, but I'm okay with that. But like I said, it's because we get to see Styx and the ending bit. For me, it's a 3.5.
That extra 0.5 is because of Eggman.
Yes.
Now, the final episode of the first half of Season 1, Eggman Unplugged.
Yeah, but this one, actually, here's a funny one. It's called Eggman Disconnects All.
Unplugged sounds better.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah, let's face it. In France, they don't have Eric Clapton, so they won't get that joke.
The plot for this one is, after trying to destroy Sonic and his friends again, Eggman decides to swear off all technology.
except Orbot and Cubot.
Because they have
Because he considers beneath technology.
beneath technology,
Yeah.
and a responsibility to actually help him.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not responsibility. What was the word? Oh yeah, slave.
Yeah, basically, he doesn't consider them technology. He considers them even lower than that.
And but unfortunately, it's the return of the lightning bolts.
I do like the fact that when they have the discussion, they're all hiding in Eggman's trash rubbish tip.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just the
Because
fact that they decide that they're gonna take
Eggman
them
also
away.
abandons his lair as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't like these guys, do you?
I don't. I don't like Fastivious. I don't like the Lightning Bolt group. I don't like Comedy Chimp.
Well, Comedy Chimp, I'll be with you on that.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't mind them. I didn't mind the Lightning Bolt Society in this episode. They were okay. I mean, part of the gag was
At least it was just three of them, and not just the entire group, and just dragging everything down. At least one they actually came into their own.
Yeah.
Like, they want to do it, but they can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, the joke is they want to use all the technology, but they're not quite sure how it works, so they end up setting off everything by accident. But really, the best part of this episode is, of course, seeing what Eggman does without technology, like trying to live on his own, wash his clothes.
What's this device? It's a bowl. You put stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just seeing him struggle.
This is the episode with the whole fish out of water trope, which we're so familiar with now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's done with Eggman, so there's the genius.
Yeah, in every single incarnation of a Sonic cartoon, this has never been done.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm aware, it's never
Yeah, I
been
don't
done
think there's
before.
been an episode where we've seen Eggman not try to use any of his own equipment or inventions.
They may be in the comics, but I haven't read that far back.
Yeah, but that's a separate entity in itself, anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing like that in the comics either.
Okay.
Aside from the one time where he socked Sonic in the face.
That was
was just
brilliant.
that was just good. He went insane. Dr. Ivor Eggman Julian Robotnik.
I'm going to be a TV star.
It's the beginning of the episode that always makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, it's they do a prank on Knuckles, which at first Amy's thinking, I don't think we should do this, guys. Oh come on, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it sticks us into it as well.
Yeah, so
And eventually, they see Eggman's little spy fly.
well, he tries to get a sneak up on them by using one of his spies, and tries this elaborate plan to get them under the boulder, in which this is why he goes up
It's
to
very Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, and of course they double trick him.
Oh. Sonic the Hedgehog taking a tip from Wile E. Coyote. Where have I seen that before?
I'll show the picture. The way when he grabs Roadrunner.
Oh god.
This was actually an interesting episode because this time the lightning bolts. I didn't hate them this time.
Oh.
Still doesn't mean still doesn't mean I like them, but they weren't as annoying. Eggman trying to actually go about technology is funny.
Yeah. Actually, the bit that made me laugh, bizarrely enough, made me sort of giggle out of nowhere, was the bit where he just kicks his Eggmobile and he just somehow comes back at him. Again, I just remember laughing at it, just thinking, oh, okay, so it just randomly comes back and hits him for no reason.
And also you got about that creature from the guilt tripping tribe.
Oh, yeah.
Was he back again in this one? And I
Yeah,
just
he was
forgot?
stuck under a boulder. And it's like, it's okay, I'll just chew my own leg off.
Well, yeah, that's the gag, yeah. Although he does leave him, I think Sonic just decided, fuck it, I'm not going to stick with him, I'm just going to leave him.
Yeah, just leave him. I don't care, just leave him.
Let him do it. Yeah.
It was actually it's a trope that it's never been really used in Sonic. I mean, you see it all over time in other cartoons and maybe in some sitcom, but not in Sonic. It's never been used.
Yeah, again, that's what we said. Well, I keep saying about the show is that a lot of these are used ideas either in animation or cartoons or storytelling and all that stuff. They're used troped ideas, but because we've never seen them with Sonic, and particularly as being a sitcom, it's actually the first time we go like, actually, yeah, how would it work out? Because they would do it differently than just the tiresome generic show that would just use this to it's the last ditch effort of any but a comedy.
It hasn't gone on the physical violence yet. For me, this episode was, I say, 3.5. It was a unique concept to Sonic, although to comedy. Seeing actually him trying to do stuff where he doesn't even know how.
Yeah,
especially a bowl and
he hasn't got a clue how to do the simple things.
A bowl and a spoon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what is this magnificent piece of technology?
Today's equivalent is actually getting a teenager to go outside. Watch that! Watch that! It's the sun! Oh, okay, I've seen that before.
Actually, there's a line where one of the villagers say, like, well, you try to destroy us all the time, don't you? There's a line where one of the villagers mentions, it's a surprise, you try to destroy us all the time with that type of stuff. You don't know how to do that.
Yeah, we always rebuild in time for this. We always rebuild in time for the sequel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed.
How would you rate it, Nikki?
Like you said, 3.5 or 3.5 really. It was, again, just seeing Eggman try and do all these things, and even how they get rid of the Lightning Sport Society. Again, what they do in these episodes, it's a nice way of wrapping everything up and bringing it back to normal.
Just kicking them all out.
I'd say probably about a 3.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5.
Okay. Any reason?
No, I just sort of thought that this was an average episode.
Unfortunately, two good episodes that we were treated to at Sonic Boom 2012, I think. Was it 2012 or 2013? I think it was 2013. Oh no, 2014. 2014 Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
They had the voice cast.
Yeah, they had to
do script readings, and one of the episodes is that they read Amy's diary.
Yeah.
And now another one as well. I can't remember what it was.
Actually, to try and finish this off, but since the show's on hiatus, there has been. I've got actually some of the names of the episodes that are not yet that are meant to come out. So we'll quickly go through these just for shits and giggles. Okay. The next one after the hiatus, the next episode is called Chef Amy, which is Amy becomes she opens up a restaurant.
Chez Amy, it says.
Yeah, Chez Amy, or At Amy in the French version. The next one's called Blue of Envy, Blue Jealousy, which is about a new hero comes in town to take Sonic's status away.
A cool new shrew.
Yeah. Chili Dog Day Afternoon, says itself, something to do with Chili Dog. Hot Chili. This one's a funny one. The Curse of the Cross-Eyed Moose.
This is that Sonic Brother Bear crossover that we've been waiting for, right?
God. All I can think in my mind is just them staring out the window with a cross-eyed moose. It'd be like that bloody cross-eyed horse pony from My Little Pony. Is it still there? It won't leave.
All right, Derpy Moose.
Yeah, exactly. This will be Sonic's Boom's Derpy. The other one is called Hoarding the Horde. This is the one where Amy has to convince Stinks to get rid of all the junk in her house.
Oh dear.
Amy realizes that Six is a pack rat. She forces her friend to have a garage sale to get rid of all the junk that's accumulated her burrow. During the sale, a secret locked door to an underground is removed, and an invading horde is set free.
And then the episode.
I'm just going to assume in an episode that Sonic or anyone else is going to open a cupboard and just get covered in junk.
Yeah, they'll plan to do that. And then the one with everybody's at Amy's house is called Cabin Fever, which is which I cannot wait to see in animation, to finally see them reading her diary, and particularly their reaction to what she thinks of them.
There they make a discovery that can drive a wedge between them. Actually, with this episode title, I'm having Eli Roth flashbacks.
Don't think it like that.
I'm picturing an ending where Tails is walking through the house where he's watching everyone decaying.
But the joke is that maybe we'll put it in the post. Nah, it's too gory.
So overall, we're halfway through to see everyone. We've got episodes later in overall months.
It's been said that depending where it's in the countries, they may premiere the North later depending where it's been shown.
Yeah, but it's not in English.
I know, but that's the thing. I mean, actually, Chef Amy's actually been shown in French, so again, if you want to watch, I guess some people want to watch that, they can watch it if they want.
Huh. Anyway, overall thoughts of first half of season 1. Personally, I'm enjoying it. It has its ups and downs. Worst one so far is guilt tripping. Fuck that episode. Fuck it to hell. I just don't fucking like it. Aside from 30 seconds of comedy. Thank you, Mike Pollock. And the best episode for me is still My Fair Stixie.
I never thought of it in terms of best or what have you episodes.
You can say the best or worst so far, pretty much.
For me, the best is My Fair Stixie, but then the worst is Guilt Tripping.
Okay. Just breezing through. Probably favorite episode, if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the sidekick.
Okay.
Worst episode. I'm trying not to go with guilt tripping here because that's been taken.
If you really don't like it, you can use it.
Well, okay, I can't get that guy's pitiful face out of my head. Guilt tripping. I'll admit this one thing. What I said about that was it's hard to take something like guilt and create humor out of it for an entire episode. The rest of the time, though, that you see this guy, it's only one scene, and that's all it can take.
Last time
that's
we
all
see
that
it,
he needs to be used for.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
The last time we saw him, Sonic just decided, fuck him, I'm not going to be near him.
Exactly. That was funny. That's funny.
Nikki, what's your favourite and least favourite?
Well, I mean, I'm enjoying this. I mean, to be fair, I think every episode, the good thing is there's not been one episode I truly hate. If I had to go from my personal favourite, I'll probably go with... I probably would still go with Cowbot to begin with. Because, again, I mean, let's be fair, I mean, even Cowbot gets a cameo actually in the last episode as well.
Surprisingly, with no Mutonium.
Yeah, but does what it does. Boom.
Even how about out?
Yeah. My least favourite, I think the one I don't like the most, it's kind of half and half. I mean, I think for me it's a mix with Meteor and Soul Power, really. It's one of those, it's really those two.
Really?
Yeah, it's mostly because, again, it's the body swap episode, which, again, I just thought if it's worse, they're going to do the whole, where I'm in somebody else and whatever. I mean, it's not it's the one I probably wouldn't watch the most. And Soul Power, again, like I said, my least favourite episode is the one where Sonic gets the shit end of the stick. But that's just my attitude because I see him as an icon in a weird way. But it's okay to have downs and, be down and out or have shit happen to him as long as he wins in the end or everything goes all right. Like I said, it's those type of episodes they're my least favourite. But that said, I'm still enjoying the show. I think we can all agree that even halfway through, it's still strong. I mean, we won't say to each other that there's no sign of it getting worse as it's going along.
No, it's been going strong in ratings for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good as SpongeBob, but then again, SpongeBob has 9 seasons.
Is it? Well, SpongeBob's been on that long, and I think people go like, you know what, I think I'll watch a new show rather than something that's been on for 10 years and is practically not funny anymore.
And also there's competition with like other shows like Steven Universe and the 5th season of My Little Pony. So
there's another nice thing about this show is that if it weren't for Sonic Boom, I wouldn't be leaving the TV on afterward and waking up and catching other shows like Steven Universe. It's kind of been a chainway drug to the other shows. I'm kind of like, oh, this isn't so bad.
yeah, I always do that sometimes. That's why I watched the original Sailor Moon, because when it came on, it wasn't on Toonami, it was on Fox Kids.
Yeah, back then.
So after school, I watched Sailor Moon, waiting for Power Rangers to come on. So that's how I know about that anime.
Actually, the weird thing, when Sonic X was on Fox Kids / Jetix, weirdly enough, I would always have it on, and just before it would always be TMNT, the for kids version. And at first, I didn't want to watch it, but funny enough, the more I went along, I actually discovered myself, I want to watch this new TMNT. This is actually quite good. Yeah, I call it the for kids version because it's probably the only good thing they've made, without everybody slagging everything else they've done to death.
Oh, well,
Let's have these cartoon characters from National Anthem.
Yeah, well,
they can't. They can't dub it over. They can't. They don't need to make any changes. They don't need any changes that things they think are appropriate for U.S. audiences, because hey, the show was made for U.S. audiences.
Pretty much, yeah. Until Flash Forward came on.
Yeah, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Wrapping up.
Yeah. I think
We'll be back November-ish, when we actually get a group of new episodes to talk about.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we may get some other podcasts here and there.
Actually, can I just say this as the last thing before we do this again? Actually, one thing I will say about Sonic Boom is then being a CG comedy series, it's very easy for us to be, and there's other shows like Fanboy Chum Chum or the Garfield Show. A lot of them are just loud, obnoxious, and very fast-paced and stupid, and just a wall of noise. And compare that to Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom, surprisingly, is more subtle. It has quiet moments. A lot of the dialogue is really, really good and builds up to funny gags. And to be fair, people's reaction is, considering that how Sonic Boom's been treated, at least the way on the Cartoon Network side, being sort of put on ridiculous times, it's surprising how much effort that's been put into this series, especially as a comedy series, compared to other ones that have been made. So that's one thing I can really say that's really good about Sonic Boom, is that for a children's comedy show, a children's CG comedy show, it actually has more, it's more genuinely has people, sorry about this, I think people are more surprised at the fact that how much effort's been put into this than anything else. I think that's...
Yeah, it actually has a structure to it.
Yeah, it actually knows how to structure itself. Not just be kind of, it's for kids. They'll just make a bunch of booger jokes and loud people and rude people and selfish dickheads getting away with stuff they shouldn't do and all that stuff.
Now I have to hit you for mentioning Fanboy and Chum.
But like I said, that's how bad I think that's how bad a CG comedy show can be. Sonic Boom is on top, well, practically, it's standing on the corpse of Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Berating it and giving its lunch money.
Exactly. No.
You fools! Fanboy and Chum Chum is the most underrated Nickelodeon show ever made.
Bollocks.
It's
absolute bollocks.
I don't really care for it myself, but
well, that and Fairy Odd Parents, they can go suck their own dicks for all I care, because I cannot stand either of them. Oh, and with that lovely image, it's time to say goodbye, children.
Whoa, Dan's down for the count.
That's it for this Edgy podcasts. Click on James or Nikki's face and go to their channels. Mainly James, Nikki doesn't upload anything much anymore.
Well, I'm working
just do something. He's working on something. I'm guessing everyone's seen the trailer at the end of the last podcast.
I am working on it, so trust me, you will see something eventually.
Subscribe to him anyway. He's my friend. Do it!
Do it, or I'll beat you up.
See you next time.
Ciao for now.
Bye.